Hello, I'm Marina from South Africa. I decided to do all 5 programs in the do-it-yourself activity. The first program I created was a simple calculator in Python. I asked the user for input to input 2 numbers. They're both floating point numbers, so it'll accept anything with a decimal point or an integer. And then I asked them to choose an operator, so plus, minus, multiply or divide. And then if they choose a plus, then I add the 2 numbers. If they choose the minus, I subtract the 2 numbers. If they choose multiplication, I multiply the 2 numbers. And if they choose division, I first check whether the divider is 0. If it is, I give an error message. Otherwise, I divide number 1 divided by number 2. And if they enter anything else except for plus, minus, multiply, or divide, they get an error message saying it's an invalid operation. So let's run this program. Ask for the first number, ask for the second number, and then the operator. So let's put in plus to start with, and it adds 3 and 7. Now this program has no loop, so I run it again to test for another operator. And let's make it 5 and 8. And this time I choose multiplication. 5 times 8 is 40. I run it again and I choose an invalid operator. And now I just type the letter F. Instead of plus, minus, multiply or divide, I get invalid operation or operator. Then maybe just to show the division by 0. If I enter 5 and 0, then I try to divide. It will tell me that I cannot divide by 0. I also wrote a little program to convert temperature in Fahrenheit to Celsius. So the user will input the temperature in Fahrenheit. Then I use the formula to convert it to Celsius. And then I display it using the printf to format the value in Celsius to 2 decimal points. Let's test it. The temperature in Fahrenheit, let's make it 200. That is equal to 93 degrees in Celsius. I wrote a program to guess a number. In this case, the number is between 1 and 100, and you use the random class to generate this number. The user gets 10 attempts in this program, and there's a loop that will continue until you don't have any more attempts. It will give you a hint. After guessing if the number is correct, you are congratulated and you break out of the loop. Otherwise, the hint is too low or too high. And eventually, you obviously reduce the number of attempts so that this loop is not an infinite loop. Then if you do run out of attempts, you get a message, and as well as what the number was. Let's test it. My first guess, I would guess 50 because it's between 1 and 100. And now because it's too low, I know it's between 50 and 100 now. So I'll try 75. And if that is too high, now I know it's between 50 and 75. So let's make it 60. Now it's too high, so now it must be between 50 and 60. Let's try 55. It's too high, so now it can only be 51, 2, 3, or 4. So let's make it 53. It's too high, so now it's only 51 or 52. 51. Too low, so 52 is the correct number. This Python program works out your age when you enter your date of birth. Because it's a basic starter program, I ask the user to input the year of birth, month of birth, and the day of birth. We haven't done converting input strings or splitting it up or making it dates. So I'll use it like that. And then I simply use the date time class to get today's date. Otherwise, I suppose you could also ask the user to input 3 values for today's date. And then to calculate the age, you first just subtract the 2 years. That's the year of today's date using this variable. And then if you're in the same month, that means say you're in June, but your birth month is smaller than, is bigger than today's month. That means you haven't had your birthday this year yet. Or if it's the same month, but the day is still to come, so your birth date is after today's date, which is the 23rd, so it must be 24th to the 30th, then it subtracts 1 because you haven't had your birthday yet, and it prints the answer. Let's see the output. Now let's say I'm in shall I put in my real date? 59, and my month is 2 and 17. So I'm 66 years old. I'll do it again, and now I'll take a date after today. So let's take my aunt's date of birth, and it's in June, and it's the 25th. So she's 34 years old. This little program checks whether a number that the user inputs is odd or even. And the user inputs the number, it's converted to an integer, and then you use the modulus function. If you divide it by 2 and the remainder is 0, then it's an even number. If you divide it by 2 and the remainder is not 0, the number is odd. Let's try it. So let's input 73. 73 is odd. Let's put in an even number. And 56 is even.